I am opening over your life a great season of provision, not only to fill your hands, but to renew the way you see abundance, legacy, and my faithfulness. My beloved child, listen to this word in peace, and do not let the hurry of today pull you away from what I desire to place within your heart. I know you have heard many promises. We have passed through many times of hoping and then having to wait again, and have had days when you looked at your circumstances and wondered whether lack was meant to be a fixed portion of your life. But I speak to you and say, shortage is not your name. Debt is not your identity. And the years of struggle do not have the right to write the final chapter of your story. I am your Father. I know what you need before you speak it. And I am still preparing paths your eyes have not yet seen. You have cried in silence because of financial burdens no one truly understood. There were obligations that made your heart heavy, responsibilities that kept you awake later than others, and times when you looked at those around you and felt as though they walked more lightly while you had to count every step, weigh every choice, and worry about every day. I saw the tears you quickly wiped away. I heard the prayers that had no words when you no longer knew where to begin. I saw you still trying to live kindly, still trying to do what was right, still trying to keep your heart from bitterness, even in seasons when you felt left behind. My beloved child, not one moment of your endurance has ever been small to me, and not one of your prayers has fallen into forgetfulness. What I am doing is not merely bringing you an amount sufficient to get through one difficult day. I am changing the flow of your life, from fear of lack into trust, from a guarded mind into a heart that knows how to rest in my provision. I do not want you to be helped temporarily, only to return to the same old anxiety. I want you to be taught, lifted up, and given opened eyes to understand that true abundance must walk together with wisdom, gratitude, and pure purpose. When I place blessing in your hands, I also place maturity within you, so you will not be controlled by wealth. So money will not become a throne in your heart, but so you will know how to use what is entrusted to you like a stream of living water to heal, to build, and to uphold. Hear me, my child. I do not want poverty to continue using its voice to frighten you. There are thoughts that have followed you for a long time, like an old garment. I will never have enough. I will always have to struggle. My family can only live within this limit. Great and beautiful things are not for me. But today, I am removing that garment from you. I am placing upon you a new understanding, so you may know that the past can influence you, but it is not allowed to imprison you. What previous generations endured does not have to repeat itself in your life. The anxieties that were passed from house to house, from year to year, are not stronger than my hand. I can begin a new flow from the very place that seemed most dried out. You once thought provision was only a matter of numbers, but I want you to look deeper. My provision can also be a door opening at the right time, a person sent at the right moment, an idea illuminated in your mind, a clean opportunity, a debt being untied, wisdom that helps you avoid repeating old mistakes, or a peace that keeps you from making decisions in panic. Sometimes I provide by expanding income. Sometimes I provide by teaching you to preserve what you already have. Sometimes I provide by separating you from places that are draining your strength and resources. Do not limit my hand to one single form. I know which path fits you, which moment must be opened, and which blessing can lift you up without leading you astray. Therefore, let your heart obey my leading through steps that are small but true. Obedience is not a loud voice used to prove something to others. Obedience is when you choose integrity where few people are watching. Choose wise stewardship when you do not yet have much. Choose gratitude before everything changes. Choose generosity when I prompt you. Choose to leave behind habits that cause blessing to leak away. And choose not to let fear control your hands. There are doors that do not open because of loud shouting, but because you have been quietly prepared. There are seasons of abundance that do not come merely to make you happy for a moment, but come because I have shaped you to be steady enough to carry them with humility. I am thinking of you, but I am also thinking of those who will be touched through your life. The blessing I place in your hands will not stop with you. It will flow to your family, to those who need to be lifted up, and to future generations who will look at your story and know that an old cycle has been broken. You will not only speak of the days of lack with a sigh, you will tell them as a testimony of restoration. You will say, there was a season when you thought you could not overcome, but I opened the way. There was a time when you thought your hands were empty, but I taught you to sow faith. There was a time when you thought the flow of blessing had been blocked, but I cleared the road and brought you into a wider place. Yet, my beloved child, keep your heart truly clean. Do not chase the blessing and forget the one who gives the blessing. Do not love abundance more than peace. Do not let the desire to escape lack become impatience. I do not want you to receive with greed, but with faith. I do not want you to see what I give as a transaction, but as grace leading you into a new responsibility. When your hands are filled, remember the nights when you prayed. When your way is opened, remember the days when you needed guidance. When you are able to help others, do it with gentleness. And do not forget that you too once needed a hand to lift you up. If your heart senses that I am speaking to you, let your Amen become an agreement in trust. Not a hurried sound, not an outward habit, but an answer from the depths of your being that says, you are ready to be taught, ready to be lifted up, ready to step out of the mindset of lack and into wise stewardship. Let that word seal within your heart that you no longer belong to the old fear. You no longer have to bow your head before stories of failure that have passed through many seasons. I am writing a new chapter where provision walks with purity, finances walk with purpose, and blessing walks with protection. Rise with new faith, but also walk with new wisdom. Open your eyes to recognize the opportunities I place before you. Open your ears to hear healthy counsel. Open your hands to work faithfully and to give at the right time. Open your heart so I may heal the fear of lack that has kept you tense for too long. I do not stand watching you suffer in silence. I have not abandoned your prayers in the deep night. I am drawing near to you with timely provision, steadfast protection, and gentle restoration. The old season is no longer your prison. Believe that I can turn what was once your family's battle into the foundation of strength for the days ahead. And what I begin in you today will become light for many others later. You have asked me why doors keep closing. Why every opportunity you thought you were about to hold ended with an emptiness that pierced your heart. You looked at those losses as signs that you had been rejected, left behind, and kept away from the goodness your heart had long desired. But today, I speak to you with the love of a father. Not every closed door is rejection. There are doors I close to protect you from paths that could harm the calling I have placed upon your life. There are opportunities that look bright on the outside, yet inside they carry bondage, depletion, and unclean connections. There are things you once cried over because you did not receive them. Yet those very things became my quiet protection over you, my beloved child. I kept certain blessings in the hidden place, not because I wanted to hurt you, but because the timing was not yet complete. I do not entrust what is precious to an unprepared season, and I do not place great things in your hands while traps remain around you that could pull you away from peace. I hid some things from your eyes, from the hands of others, and even from forces that wanted to touch your portion before it could blossom. But now, the season of waiting is shifting. What was once buried is being called forth by me. What was once delayed is being moved into its proper place. The doors of the heights are opening not according to the will of human beings, but according to the rhythm of my holy timing. What I am about to release for you does not bear the mark of exhausted striving, is not born from fear, and does not come as a gift that requires you to trade away your peace. The provision I give does not come with shame, does not bind you in emotional debt, and does not force you to bow before people who only want to control you. When I give with purity. When I open a way, I do not require you to sell your dignity in order to enter. When I touch your life, it carries my fingerprint, peace, order, support, light, and the ability to stand upright again after seasons of being pressed down. The enemy has used financial struggle many times like an arrow aimed at your heart. It wanted you to stare so long at lack that you forgot I am your source. It wanted you to count what was not enough and conclude that your future would also not be enough. It wanted you to live in a cycle of anxiety, waking with pressure, sleeping with burdens, and losing joy day by day because of numbers, responsibilities, and doors that had not yet opened. But I am breaking that weapon. I am pulling you out of the posture of merely trying to survive. I am restoring joy within you, not a fragile joy dependent on circumstances, but a joy that knows I still reign, still provide, and still lead you into a more spacious place. The great abundance I am preparing for you is not only material, it is a seal of covenant, an answer to silent prayers, a sweet fruit growing from faith that has been tested through tears. You prayed when you saw nothing changing. You tried to keep your heart upright when lack wanted to make you bitter. You kept walking even when many times you did not know what tomorrow would bring. I saw it. I did not overlook the times you chose trust instead of surrendering to fear. I did not forget the moments when you still gave, even though you yourself needed to be upheld. I did not take lightly each small act of faithfulness you quietly sowed in seasons when no one applauded. There will be people who look at what I do in your life and wonder how it could have happened. They will try to explain it with natural eyes, with their calculations, with the limited assumptions of human beings. But you will know. You will know it was not empty luck, not meaningless coincidence, and not the result of any mortal hand trying to claim credit. You will know it was my mercy, my timing, my faithfulness touching the places you once thought had closed. You do not need to argue to prove what I have done. Let your life become a quiet yet powerful testimony that I remembered you, heard you, and brought you out of the narrow place. You were not created to live forever in lack, in a feeling that you must always fear tomorrow, nor were you made only to receive and keep everything for yourself. I created you to become a source of blessing, so that when I place abundance in your hands, through you someone may be lifted up, a door may be opened, a burden may become lighter, and hope may be rekindled. I do not only want you to be free from debt in your circumstances, but also free from a poverty mindset, from fear of lack, and from the habit of making yourself small before what I desire to give. I placed within you the ability to create, steward, sow, support, and cause good things to multiply. That strength is being awakened in you. Not so you may become proud, but so you may understand that you have been entrusted with a holy responsibility. But hear me clearly. Obedience is the key that keeps blessing flowing in the right direction. I do not force you to step into what you do not agree with by faith. I do not compel your heart to receive what you keep denying with your words, with fear, and with self-condemnation. So guard your mouth. Do not keep speaking words against the breakthrough you have prayed for. Do not call yourself a failure when I am calling you restored. Do not say you will never come out when I am opening the way. Do not let the familiar phrases of despair become the wall you build before your own steps. Your words are seeds. When you continually sow fear, your heart will live in a field of fear. When you continually sow lack, your mind will see only lack. But when you learn to speak according to what I declare over your life, the atmosphere within you begins to change. Declare not to boast, but to remind your heart to stand upright in truth. Say that you are blessed, you are chosen, you are being led into freedom, you are being brought out from the burden of debt, and you are being given wisdom to steward what I place in your hands. These words are not empty dreams if they are spoken from a trusting, humble heart that is ready to follow my leading. Speak like someone who knows who their Father is, not with arrogance, but with gentle certainty, not to deny reality, but to declare that reality does not have higher authority than my word over your life. You may be seeing emptiness, but speak to your heart about provision. You may be seeing a closed door, but remember that I still have countless paths you have never known. You may be standing among numbers that make you anxious, but let the voice of faith become stronger than the voice of fear. I am teaching you to walk as an heir of peace, as a steward of blessing, as one entrusted with light to bring into places that were once dark. So today, rise from the posture of rejection. Lift your head from the memory of closed doors. Not everything that leaves you is a loss. Some things leave to make room for something better. Not every delay is punishment. Some delays are garments of protection I have placed over you. No. What I have preserved is being brought closer. Receive it with a clean heart, with wisdom, with obedience, and with words that align with faith. I am restoring your joy, enlarging your capacity to receive, and leading you into a season where provision will not only fill your hands, but also illuminate the purpose I placed within you long ago. Do not compare your path with anyone else's, because what I am doing within you is a distinct work, measured by the standard of heaven and not by the eyes of the world. My beloved child, I know there are times when you look at someone else's life and your heart quietly sinks. You see them moving faster, being recognized earlier, having doors open more easily. And then you ask whether you are delayed, left behind, or walking the wrong road. But I want you to hear clearly, I do not write your story with someone else's ink. I do not use their journey as the pattern for yours. What I am preparing in your life carries a very personal mark, precise in every season, every step, every delay, every closed door, and every opportunity being held for the appointed time. Perhaps your relatives do not understand why you are still waiting. Perhaps neighbors look at you and think you should choose another road. Perhaps some people advise you to give up, lower your dreams, or accept a life smaller than what I have placed within your heart. But my child, they have not heard what I whispered to you in the quiet nights. They have not seen the signs I placed along your path. They do not know what I have quietly protected you from. Nor do they understand why certain doors that seemed good were not permitted to open. I did not call them into your portion. I called you. I did not place upon them the same responsibility, the same preparation, or the same miracle I am forming within you. So do not let outward voices cause you to doubt the inward call. I have marked your name with my love. I have written upon your life a purpose that is not random. Before you knew which seasons you would pass through, I knew. Before you understood why you had to wait, I saw the fruit of that waiting. Before you grew weary because of what had not yet arrived, I had prepared provision for this very time. You thought abundance was far away, but in truth, I kept it for the season when you would be mature enough to carry it without losing humility. You thought the promise was delayed, but in truth, I was refining your hands, your heart, your thoughts, and even the way you view blessing. I do not only want to give you what you asked for, I want you to become someone who can preserve it with wisdom and gratitude. If right now you feel a quiet stirring in the hidden place, a sense that something within you is waking up, that is not coincidence. It is the deepest part of you recognizing my voice. There are words that do not need long explanations, because when they come from me, they touch you with a confirmation your mind has not yet had time to name. You may not see it with your eyes, but you know something is moving. You may not hold it in your hands yet, but you sense that the old season is closing. You may not yet understand exactly how I will do it, but your heart is beginning to rise in trust. Hold on to this. Do not extinguish that gentle awakening with doubt. Do not let the talk of others blur my call. I am not the one who speaks and then forgets. I do not promise in order to make you hope in vain. What I have spoken over you, I know how to fulfill. What I have sown in you, I know how to cause to grow. What I began, I will not abandon halfway, simply because you have not yet seen the result. You have waited long. Yes, but that waiting has not been wasteland. It is where I taught you to stand when no one applauded. It is where I taught you to believe when circumstances had not changed. It is where I taught you to distinguish between hurry and holy timing. There are seasons that seem silent but are full of preparation. There are days that seem as though nothing is happening. Yet within you, I am building layer by layer, level by level, with quiet strength. You have grown in that place of waiting more than you realize. You have learned to pray more honestly. You have learned to release what does not belong to you. You have learned not to chase every door just because it opens. You have learned to listen to peace rather than be pulled by pressure. Your faith has been refined like precious metal in fire, not to exhaust you, but to remove what cannot go with you into the new season. I used those slow days to teach you that your worth does not depend on the speed of success, that your calling is not cancelled because others went ahead, and that true blessing never requires you to trade away your peace in order to obtain it. Now, the reward is being released according to my rhythm, not like a noise that overwhelms you, but like water finding its course again, like a door opened with the right key, like light flooding a room that has been closed for too long. You are stepping into a sacred moment where the small things in your hand will be multiplied by my power. What you once thought was not enough, I can make abundant. What you once considered ordinary, I can turn into a source of blessing. A small idea, a small step of obedience, an opportunity that seems insignificant, an ordinary meeting under my hand. Any of these can become the beginning of something you never imagined. Do not despise the seed because it is not yet a tree. Do not overlook the drop of oil because the vessel is small. Do not ignore today's net just because yesterday you came back empty-handed. Your obedience will open the way for things that seem impossible, not because your strength is great, but because when you walk according to my word, my power meets your willingness. There are doors that do not open through striving, but through surrender. There are seasons that do not come because you force yourself harder, but because you are willing to stand in the position where I have placed you. There are miracles that do not require you to understand everything before you walk. They only require you to trust me enough to take the first step. Remember that I do not demand that you know the whole road. I only invite you to trust the one who is leading you. When you obey in small things, I can reveal what is great. When you keep faithfulness in the hidden place, I can bring you into a spacious place. Do not fear the responsibility of this blessing. I know there is a part of you that both expects and trembles. You wonder whether, if something great truly comes, you will be wise enough to keep it, strong enough to steward it, humble enough not to lose yourself. Hear me, I do not bless you and then leave you alone in that vastness. I will guide you. I will teach you how to walk. I will show you what to keep, what to release, whom to listen to, and where to stay away. I will place discernment within you to distinguish between true opportunity and false glitter. I will teach you how to receive blessing while keeping your heart tender, how to be lifted up while still bowing your head in gratitude, and how to steward abundance without letting it become the master of your heart. Therefore, stop measuring your life by the standard of others. Stop condemning yourself because your journey does not look like theirs. Some flowers bloom early, while some trees must send roots deep through many seasons before rising strong. Some rivers flow quickly on the surface, while some springs must pass through hidden rock before pouring out clear. You belong to the rhythm I have chosen for you. and that rhythm is not wrong. Slowness does not mean you have been forgotten. Difference does not mean you have been rejected. Longer preparation does not mean the promise is weaker. On the contrary, what is most precious is often covered carefully by me, guarded for longer, and brought forth at the exact time. My child, stand firm in my plan. Believe that what I am doing is personal to you, fitted to you, timed for you, and aligned with the purpose I placed upon you. Do not let your heart waver because of someone else's radiance. Do not let the hurry of the world steal your peace. Walk with your eyes turned toward me, with a heart that knows how to listen, with hands open to receive and also ready to give. The small thing in your hand is being touched by me. Your obedience is making a pathway. Blessing is not coming to frighten you, but to bring you into more mature stewardship, deeper worship, and wider freedom. I am with you in the season of preparation. I am with you in the moment the door opens. And I will also be with you when abundance begins to flow. Trust me, for what I have appointed for you will not come at the wrong time, will not wander into the hands of another, and will not exceed the grace I will give you to carry it.